Hey guys, Vince here, back again with another Supercoach video. Finals week. So first round, how did we go? Pretty bloody swell. As we see, it says league wins 10 out of 10. That's actually a lie. I lost one of them, so I don't know why it says 10 out of 10. But we put out a 2406, went up 336 places. Overall, once again, it's not traveling well. We decided there's not really much that we could do that really changed to focus on finals, but we managed to actually get our finals wins this week, so that felt pretty nice. But yeah, up to 6,516, so 3 weeks left. Yeah, not much we can do about the overall rank as we've mentioned, but let's focus on those finals. Other news, Pies get their 10 in a row, third on the ladder now. Lots of positives still, I guess, for me. I was very happy to see my Pies getting up in another good win. Another close one. Port were trying to make a little bit of a run at the end there, but couldn't quite get it. And then them giving away the 50 the Maynard just secured our victory. So, whew. So let's jump into the team. We'll see how it went. A few underperformers. We did actually run once again a rookie on field with Hewitt out. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. Hewitt should be back this week. We decided I was considering moving Hewitt on just so that we could win the first round of finals. What's the point of me playing for finals just to lose the first round? But I wanted to see how the team went, and I thought I'd make that call at a later date. What ended up happening, though, was not that. Ware had a bit of a down game. I probably should have switched him, but for some reason in my head I had this feeling Carlton were playing Sunday morning, so I thought there was no rush. I can worry about that all, tomorrow. And then wake up Sunday morning and realize Hewitt's already locked out, did not play, and I just have to accept that. So I couldn't even technically take Ware's 49 because I had him on the bench and I was going to switch Hewitt if he got a good score, but it was fine. Ambrosio came in and had a okay game. Actually got the same as Ware, so it literally didn't matter. Sinclair put out his 102. That's awesome. Saints get up on a win, push into the 8th. So they're pretty hyped. Dawson came out with a great score, following with Laird's great score as well. So those two back to back. A lot of people had Laird as captain, so I was almost a little bit hoping he'd have a down game, and then I was going to run Miller as captain. So that was in a lot of my matchups, at least. Laird was captain. But Laird pulled through, and we always take the 144. Miller still had a great game, as we expected. Sorry, a little bit off topic as to my captain decisions, but yeah, then Dale, the 103. These are good, consistent scores. We're happy with hitting the ton because we know these defenders have the habit of not doing it. Specifically, we have Crisp and Short here, so 74 and 60, so just not great scores. And honestly, people, I wish I could move on if I had the money, if I had the luxury, if I had the trades, but it's just not possible. It's actually really funny if you look at Crisp and Pendlebury. So we all know I moved Pendlebury on before his bye, and if you compare him and Crisp, Pendlebury's average after the bye, I think, was it's pretty good actually. So Crisp's is down in the 80s, so his 5-round average is disgusting. 77.3 and 77.6. Like, he is putting out dreadful numbers. Like, this has been appalling. Like, to be fair, nobody makes this play. Hindsight, is obviously key here. But if we look at Pendles, who had really dropped off when I moved him on, because I was like, nah, I can't deal with this anymore, he actually came back after the bye. And then, yeah, we have the 130, the 71, 110, 79, and 80, which gets his 5-round average to, 90. So 13 more points than Crisp, which is a significant amount, to be honest. But who's going to predict that Crisp just falls off a cliff after the buys? Like, it's crazy that that's happened. Like, if we actually go back to him quickly and we drop down here right after the buys, we have, look at these scores: 80, 79, 77, 91, 81, 60. Like, that's ridiculous that he's putting out these kind of numbers. Like, mental. He's out 443k. Like, it's really sad, actually. Like, sad for owners. Like, nothing wrong with what Crisp is doing gameplay wise. That there's a few times he takes the game on and he's been actually caught recently, but I just don't know. He's not playing on the ball anymore. He's playing behind the ball, but I just don't know where he is. He's just Mia for a lot of the game, and when he does have it, it's not clean footy, or he gets caught holding. Like, it's just hasn't been good. So yeah, Crisp is someone that we will not be we're going nowhere near him next season. I don't care. He's ninth overall, and he technically had a cracker of a start. Like not going near him next season. He's burnt us. Same with Short. His role has changed. If Short moved back to the role he had previously, get on him. But I don't see that happening, and unfortunately, it's just these two are just done. The Supercoach is done in this sense. Their roles may be better for the team overall as to what they're doing now, but their Supercoach is done, unfortunately. Unless they were to sort of move back. I don't really know with Crisp. When he was behind the ball, he didn't have a problem previously. And when he was on the ball, he didn't have a problem. Like, now he's back behind the ball, and I don't know if it's because he's maybe playing more accountable. Because, like, honestly, even when I watch the Collingwood games, he just looks mere. Like, he's just not there. He's MIA. He's missing in action. Like, he's just not there. So I just don't know what to say. Like, I can't say. Like, I don't know if someone else has more insight to if he's playing more accountable, but he just disappears from the game. Like, I just don't know what to say. But yeah, that's when we jump into the midfield, and this is where it all came together. The Laird 144, the Miller 153, the Cripps comes back finally with a 146. I mean, Hewitt moved on, so I don't know if that was the reason. Any correlation there? Mills comes out with a 120. That's awesome. Neil 110 will take that. It's like plenty of great scores in the mid, and I think this is what got us through. We obviously got the great Laird captain. Actually, I was surprised how many people didn't have Miller in my matchups, which really helped, and same with Mills, so they really pushed me over. Kelly actually had a decent week. Once again, not many people were running him either, so that was great for me. I'd say great, but I was like, that's if anything a subpar score, but it was fine. Brayshaw owners were rewarded heavily. Petrarca owners were rewarded heavily this week, look, Petrarca has had a lot of down games, so to get rewarded, it's like, that's not a miss, like, whatever. He's been so up and down, you can't tell. Okay, that is not what am I writing? Bray. That's what I wanted. Brayshaw, I don't know if he has been up and down as much. Yeah, basically, 130, 130, 90, 70, 130, 80, 130. Like, yeah, like, basically from his bye onwards, he has been either hit or miss, which, as I said, if you're playing for leagues right now, that could be very detrimental. So yeah, Brayshaw, hard one to know right now if he's on or off. Friday night Collingwood versus Melbourne. That looks dope. I am keen to watch that. But Oliver comes out with an 85. Not great. He is going to probably destroy the Pies, though, so I'm going to definitely recommend VC on him. I know we're not to VCs yet, but, like, I just saw that, and, yeah, that's a good one to go. Mills, maybe a good C option. Oh, my goodness, Laird, a good C option. There's some good options looking at the bench right now. But, yeah, jumping into it, McRae also 82. Not a great game from him. Someone else I don't think I'll be looking at next year, if I had to be honest. I think Laird has to be the number one go-to guy. Like, let's look at the actual players. We'll finish up the team, but yeah. So with 85, Sean Darcy 92, awesome. Like, awesome in the sense that these rucks have been a little bit underperforming recently. Witts hasn't had the greatest game, so I'll take these. These are good enough. Obviously, we wish we got better. Max Gorn came out with a big game again this week, so a bit punished, but that's okay. Darcy Cameron came out with a great score. I do regret moving on Darcy Cameron to a degree. He would have been very nice to have here. Even over Lipinski would have been better. Bontempelli, that's fine. You've had two brilliant games, so we'll take you 98. Parker comes out with a 119. That's awesome. It's been a while since he's put out some decent score. Brody 92, we take that. I mean, we literally started with you, so we'll take whatever you give us. You've done so much. Heaney 104, awesome. Dunkley bounces back with a 130, which is awesome. I did not see this game. Obviously, Geelong beating Dogs, which is crazy. Dogs down the 10th. Are they going to make finals? Top 8? I don't know. But I don't know if maybe Dunkley got a more friendly role. I saw Bailey Smith only dropped to 59, so I don't know if Dunkley definitely... I'm assuming Dunkley got a more friendly role. Like, that's just the only thing I can look at it and say. Lipinski with the 85. So not bad overall. Besides Crisp and I guess Short, like everyone else was at least above 80, which is what you expect from your premiums. Yes, we have a 49 because we ran a rookie, but you know what? We won the league games, and that was crazy important. Now, if I just look at averages overall, so total points, but if we jump to averages, yeah, Rory Laird, sitting number one. He's going to be hard to not start next year. I get it. He's going to be expensive. It's hard to say, really, because he's looking so fire right now. And Took, at the end of the day, ended up being worth his cash. We started him and he's dropped the 122 average. He's really brought it back. He's really made the run home. It would have been a lot better to actually not start him and pick him up mid-season, but he's done his value. Neil's done his value. Oliver, we got him at a good point. We got Bont at a good point. Mills he's done really well too. Like, it's hard to look at this and think, who do you start? Like, Merritt's only up here because he's gone bonkers in like the last 5 weeks. Like, his 5-round average must be 140 in the last 5. Like, Merritt was pretty subpar. Look at this, a 103 average, and then goes 140, 147, 136, 133, 140. 5 rounds in a row where he goes bonkers, and then generally makes a run for like top overall for averages. So hard to tell with Merritt. I mean, these young bloods, it's good to run them because they could definitely make their breakout years. Steele's going to be cheap next year, and he still definitely has it. So someone that I do actually like the idea of Steele next year. I like the idea of Mills. I think he's coming into good form. Laird is so hard to look past and not just want. Oliver, he always dips down, so he'll be cheap at some point and you can get him. Do you want to get him before he has a massive game? Most likely, but just whenever. Before he plays Adelaide, that's probably when you want him. Is that what he did this year as well? Did he pump Adelaide this year? Which one was it? Pumped Richmond, which was nice. Pumped North. Man, I don't even remember where I got him, but I wouldn't be surprised if I got Oliver as like one of my first trade-ins. Either way, he'll drop in price as he always does, and then he'll pump out a massive score. I think he was a bit more consistent this year overall, but yeah, I don't know if I'd start him. I don't know about Miller either. Miller was really, really good on the back end of this season, but he started really bloody strong. Then he had a lot of down weeks, had a few random good weeks here and there, and then has been really good recently. Like, after the bye onwards, even though these are 100, 101s, like, you'll take those as a floor, but then going to 150s, 130, 110, 150, 150, like, that's the Miller that we saw last year, and that's why we all started him. But he just wasn't there throughout the mid of the season. Don't know what happened there. So Miller is also someone that you'd love to start. Neil still has it all together, so you'd love to start. There's so many mids you'd love to. There's just so much variety in the mid. Like, there really is. Like, yes, these are big average gaps, which is kind of crazy to drop from, like, wow. So that's not too big of a drop here, but then the drop down to 118 and then like 114 not much later, like, it's a big drop. But yeah, if you do get Bont in the forward line next year, I think he's definitely got to be picked up. He's probably a starter 100%, which he will get the forward status, I'd assume. Yeah, but I guess that's what I'm looking at this stage. Like, obviously, you want to be looking at people and their roles and who you're going to start next year. If people get role changes, how they perform, such as like last year, as I mentioned, Rioli got his role change. I had my eyes on him, but then didn't follow through with it. If Dawson ends up maintaining a defense split, I think he would be a great one to start too. I would basically put him as a keeper to start. I think Stewart's hard to look past as well. I think next year I'd probably look at a Stewart Dawson defense to at least start for keepers. As I mentioned, forward line is probably Bont. We'll see how English goes in his next few games because he's been really unders recently for some reason. Libber has actually been fire as well, so he could definitely be looked at as the forward line option. It really comes down to what rookies we get at the end of the day, because as we know, we build our teams usually off the rookies we get. As much as we would love to start all the big gun mids, we know that that's usually where the big gun rookies are, so you can't help it. You have to pick up 3 rookies like we did this year, if not more. We had a few mid prices in there, but yeah, that's basically what I'm eyeing out at the moment. No mid prices have jumped out to me, but obviously there's a few rookies that have jumped out, but the only problem is that they did play. They're going to start at an elevated price, and depending on how elevated that price is, it's going to be pretty big. Obviously, Cully has been getting games in, which really sucks. We all would have loved Cully next year. Oh my goodness, killing it. Like, he has had 2 great games, and then this, I don't know what happened here, but fell off a cliff. I don't know if he got injured here or he was subbed out of the game because he didn't score after the 3-quarter time, so I'm going to assume injured maybe. I mean, that wouldn't be the worst case for us next year if it's a small injury to stop him playing the last 3 games, and he comes in. Yes, he's gonna have a slightly elevated price, but he's good, so kind of wouldn't mind that. So yeah, we've seen a few good rookies come out in these last few games. As I said, you almost don't want them to go too off. You want them to show what they've got and show that they could very much be worth it, but at the same time not go over the top. That's if we can start them next year and they're not too elevated in price, because obviously once they start getting to the 200 plus mark, it's very hard to start them because it's very hard to believe that they're going to really make that 150. But yeah, sorry, just enough talking about next year. Jumping into my leagues, I just want to show you how the final weeks went. See, we did lose this one here against my mate Amir. He was technically first, I was fourth, so that's not a bad loss in reality. Where a lot of these other ones, I was actually 8th coming in, as we know, and I get the win, so I get to play again next week. Yay. It's a good thing I won my actual YouTube league. I barely made finals, and I got up in round 1, so sorry there, Marcus Bont and Smelly. Just got you this week, I guess. Oh, we had some close ones. 8 points here. Thomas taking a Gus. Oof. Yeah, even first versus fourth was really close. So yeah, that'll be good fun next week. I think this is the one I didn't make top 8 in, so I'm gonna just cry because I didn't do it. Oh, look at that 14th. What a roll. What a roll. I'm in leagues with like multiple of these people, but this one I also didn't. I slipped down to 9th, unfortunately. That's really, really unfortunate. This is my mates league, so nobody really cares. Mates league. And then another 8th place finish. Managed to slide down to 8th and get up on 5th again. It's actually really funny. I finished 8th, or I played the 5th versus 8th in a lot of these leagues, and I managed to get up, which is really, really nice. Any really close matches? Well, me and this man, Zachary, put out the same score. Big difference is being 7th actually hurt you more than being 8th. That's unfortunate. But we'll take it. We'll take it when we get it. Oh yeah, Shorty's one I did slip out, unfortunately. I end up winning, which doesn't really matter in the minor leagues. Shorty actually gets up himself, puts out a great score, and smashes 5th. What happened here? What happened here? That is dreadful. Total points. Where is this man in total points? 10th. Oh man, I got snuffed out by 10th overall. That's a bit rude. Oh, and the Keys, who I played in the final, so me and him both got snuffed out of top 8. That's unfortunate. But yeah, Shorty gets a win. Cool. And then, this is a 5th place finish. I lost last week and actually dropped from 4th, unfortunately. I lost to Clack Attack, if y'all saw that. So I know many of you probably aren't watching the video at this point. But, hey, I just have some fun with it. Why not? It's going to keep me motivated to keep doing it. But, yeah, we lost to them last week and then we beat them this week. So, rough one. If we ended up finishing 4th, we would have lost a very close one anyway. So we would still be in this matchup. And then, I versed the Dons actually twice. Really funny thing here. I don't know if you all saw this last week, but 5th versus 8th on the Dons. If we hit next week, it's 5th versus 8th. Exactly the same thing. So I found that really funny. Obviously got up in both leagues, and I actually lost to him last week as well. So I lost to him last week. I'm pretty sure knocked me out of... So I think I only played him in one of these leagues, so I versed the Dons in one of these leagues as well. I'm pretty sure I lost to him, knocked me from 4th to 5th to play him again this week, and I happened to end up against him in the other league as well, where I think I just, it didn't matter if I won or lost, I held 5th. And then, end up topping him here, which is pretty nice. So we'll get another final next week. So none of the finals I managed to actually just scoot straight through unless it was a minor final. Every single one I'm going to have to play again next week, so we'll see what we do about that. Mitch's Marvels, I'm pretty sure, is actually, up here, 6th, but got knocked out. So that's it overall, guys. We had, if you're in the video yourself, your team's playing, put a comment down there. Tell me who you are. Tell me, I'll go check you out, because honestly, I'm kind of nerdy over the statistics that way. I love to see the team that it's like, hey, you finished, 7th overall, what's your head-to-head? was actually 7th. So wow, so they actually had 8th overall. I had 5th. Like total points actually like was so accurate because Mitch was also yes. So total points was super accurate for where we finished. Whatever 4th was 4th. Actually 4th he was, no way. And 1st was actually 1st. No, and 2nd and 3rd Philly. Oh my goodness, oh wait, I'm looking at head to head, not total points. I'm so silly. I've done too much of this video to go back, so I know, as I said, I know a lot of you aren't watching right now, so y'all aren't gonna say anything. I'm so sorry. That was terribly embarrassing. Yes, actually look at total points. Yes, that's how head to head works, guys. Yep. Sorry, total points. Dons was actually 8th. Fishing Crips was actually 2nd, so they finished 7th down there. So they had a bit of an unlucky fixture, it seems, but it's actually more unlucky for the people that end up against the total points, like second placer, because they're going to probably make a run here. First was, oh man, so first in total points versus me here. Undercats was 3rd. Unlucky Demands was 5th, so, and then Phil was there too. So yeah, top 6 total points actually ended up. So yeah, so all top 8 total points ended up in finals in this league, and the 2 8th and 7th in total points got eliminated. So yeah, no, the little cool things like that, I guess, to look at. I always like seeing people lower on the ladder who got in, as I said, in Shorty's league, me getting knocked out, but unfortunately the lower ladder didn't manage to move on. When I say lower ladder, just lower in total points. Was there anyone that was like also crazy in total points that is doing well? So Saints in total points was doing well. Smoky Bandits was doing well. Well, technically Shorty was also out of the 8, yeah. So was it just me and Keys knocked out of by Shorty and Connell? I know nothing was above me. Yeah, looks like that's the case, yeah. Just me and Shorty getting knocked out. Sorry, me and Keys getting knocked out by Shorty and Connell. Rough. But yes, okay. Enough rambling, guys. I'm just going to jump back to the team. I'm going to go over the captains real quickly. I'm so sorry. That should have been done probably earlier as well. Yeah, just rambling about a bunch of stuff. Hopefully y'all are just falling asleep to this instead. Just put it on in your ears while you sleep. I sometimes do that when I'm listening to podcasts and stuff, and yeah, hopefully you're not actually listening. No. How is this looking? Yeah, Pies in Melbourne. I think Oliver is a great VC. Oh man, so is Miller into Hawks. There's actually such good options. So obviously Oliver into Collingwood, I think it's too tempting to not do because he's going meant. Like Oliver is the kind of guy that can drop 200. Miller has been going off. I feel like Hawthorn haven't been as easy as they were previously to score on though, and I feel like Miller might actually get some attention. So that's definitely one. There's plenty of good players in these teams that you could put it on, but I think there's just better options with the first 2 games. And then even looking, I probably wouldn't touch anyone in these 2 games. But the Sydney and North game, Mills is definitely a good option. Technically, Heaney or Parker, as people that kick goals, could be good. So you could put a wild card on one of them if you wanted. And then I think the final one, which is way too good, the pass up, is just Laird into West Coast. So I think I'm personally going to just go with the safety of Oliver into a Laird. It's just been too good. I think if you want to spice things up without going too wacky, you could definitely put one of the Sydney boys as a VC and then just rely on Laird as a C because he has been so fire. Or potentially Miller with the VC either. I think Laird is just a clear C here. I think this is actually perfect for everyone. You can all put C on Laird, and then you can take this really crazy, risky, VC option, or you can play it safe with Oliver. Yeah, go risky. Doesn't really matter if it fails. You just bank Laird, and he's probably going to drop you the 125 minimum, if not 140 minimum, and you just take that. So yeah, put it on some wild card that hopefully goes mental. I think if anything, Oliver, as we know, has a history of hitting 200s, and even in games where they lose, such as Adelaide a few years ago, he still dropped to 200, if not last year. So I think it's a good one to go with. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, everyone. I'll let y'all get on to whatever you're doing and stop rambling on and continuing to waste time. So I appreciate you all watching the videos. For any of those who did stay till the end, once again, I appreciate that. Yeah, Anyway, I hope your league is going well. Good luck in finals, everyone. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I just appreciate you for being here. Peace. Later.